and foremost, all praises, glory, honor goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Makakwadas. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Citation, Yaki, I'm pushing this word. Day in and day out doing this quick lesson. It's an AI video, of course, right? It's like the majority of the internet. He even spelled economy wrong. But it's from a channel, YouTube channel. No, I'm just fair use. I'm not making any money off of this. You can tell by my so-called lackluster page. Not the content, which is saying content, which we pushing the word. We warning the flock, man. Those who either hear or forbear, but the so-called content, I guess, is a better word. Ain't nothing wrong with the content, but you know, I'm shadow banned, blacklisted, blackballed, whatever you want to call it, right? So, you know, I'm definitely not ranked high on the algorithm. I think I only have, 16, 17 subscribers, something to that effect, which is a good thing, right? On paper. That's what it is, right? So it says, why BlackRock just moved 2.1 trillion out of America and what it means for you. So BlackRock is like the top, or one of the top investment firms that do business here in America, right? You can research them, Google, ChatGPT, whatever, right? So they moved a lot of money out of this place, right? And the national debt is 38 trillion. So they moved almost 10%, man, out of Babylon, right? So I'm gonna play this quick video, man.
$38 trillion. That's America's national debt. Right now, today, not next year, not projected. Actual debt sitting on the books as of December 2025. And if you think that number doesn't affect you personally, I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Because while you were scrolling social media and watching Netflix, the largest financial...
He's scrolling like a zombie. Watching, NBA, NFL playoffs about to kick off. Super Bowl around the corner, all types of folly. Golden Globes, they got it. Esau got all bases covered but the men of the Lord, man. Because even though we watch that stuff, we don't get entangled in it, man.
Institutions in the world started doing something that they haven't done in 75 years. They're moving money, massive amounts of money, out of dollar-denominated assets, quietly, systematically, without headlines. And this isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented capital flow, public filings, treasury data, numbers you can verify yourself. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what comes next, because there's a pattern here. A mathematical pattern that's played out 3 times in the last 500 years. Same stages, same warning signs, same devastating outcome. And we're watching it unfold again.
Showing you each kingdom, reigns for about 250 years or less, man. Okay. And America's at its 250 right now.
Right now, in real time. The only question is whether you'll see it coming, or whether you'll be asking, like millions before you, how you missed all the signs. Stick with me. Because the next 15 minutes will change how you think about money forever. Global debt just hit $251 trillion according to the IMF's latest data. That's 235% of global GDP, the highest ratio in recorded peacetime history. U.S. debt alone jumped from $36.1 trillion in January 2025.
See the shit, the images is fucked up, and he still gets 1 million views on his videos, man.
To $38.4 trillion by December. $2.3 trillion increase in 11 months. But here's what nobody's telling you. This exact scenario has happened before, 3 times in modern history. And every single time, the country holding the reserve currency collapsed within 30...
That's the spirit. They show you the bankers running, man. And they're running away from the dollar, it looks like, in this image. So whoever put this video on knows that the dollar is soon to collapse, man. All right. You're going to have bank runs real soon, man. While the bankers... right? They done cashed out. They done got out of the dollar. While they running away from the dollar, while they running away from the banks, you people gonna be running to the banks, man. All right, trying to withdraw your money, it's gonna be too late, man. You're gonna be the last ones. The masses are gonna be the last ones to get wind of the former economic system, which is the U.S. dollar being phased completely out, man. That's why you shouldn't have a lot of money. That's a Spirit 144 call law. Yeah, about shimmy outside. That's why you shouldn't have a lot of your money in the bank. If you can diversify your assets, like let's say you have 30,000, or 300,000. That's probably a better way. Let's say you had 300,000, right? It's a smart way to do it. Have your 100K in, gold or silver. Have 100K in, whatever stock, bonds, crypto, whatever you want to use. Then have 100K and sitting in your bank. I think that's the best way to do it. And then just count that 100K as a loss, man. When the economy collapsed. You just had that 100. I mean, really less than that. Probably try to have 30K in the bank. But you get my drift. Just have that, just to pay your fucking bills, man.
6 months of the smart money leaving. Not similar collapses. Identical patterns. Same stages, same timeline, same result. The pattern is mathematical.
And this isn't financial advice.
Predictable. And unfortunately, unstoppable once it reaches a certain point. Let me show you how it works. Every major economic collapse in the last 5 centuries followed a precise 4-stage cycle. Stage 1, the ascension phase. A nation becomes the center of global finance. Capital floods in from everywhere. Their currency becomes the standard for international trade.
And let me, because I do want to screenshot. I end up screenshotting the bank runs. That's what's coming, man, to this place. Bank runs, bailouts. All you people getting bailed into the B system, the banks are bailing out.
4-stage cycle. Stage 1, the ascension phase. A nation becomes the center of global finance. Capital floods in from everywhere. Their currency becomes the standard for international trade. Everyone wants in. Banks expand. Markets boom. Innovation accelerates. The future looks limitless. Confidence is absolute. The stage typically lasts 50 to 80 years. Stage 2, the overextension phase. Success breeds arrogance. The government starts spending beyond its means. Military expansion, foreign interventions, domestic programs, all funded with borrowed money. Debt grows faster than the economy. But nobody worries because asset prices keep rising. Real estate booms. Stock markets hit records. Everyone feels wealthy. Central banks print money to keep it going. This stage lasts 20 to 40 years. Stage 3, the silent exodus. This is the critical phase.
20 to 40 years, you could say the boom of America was probably from like 1960, let's say 1965 to about 2005. That was the boom of America. America was in a surplus, and look how fast the deficit occurred.
The smart money sees what's coming, not the public, not the politicians, just the people who actually read balance sheets. Major institutions start quietly rotating capital out. No announcements, no press releases, just systematic, calculated movement into safer jurisdictions. Foreign investors reduce holdings. Wealthy families diversify internationally. The exodus begins, slowly at first, then faster. The stage lasts 18 to 36 months. Stage 4, the collapse. The currency loses reserve status. Foreign central
That's where we're in now. We're in the collapse phase.
banks dump their holdings. Inflation explodes. Interest rates spike. Asset prices crash simultaneously. Banks fail. Pensions evaporate. The middle class gets destroyed. Political chaos follows.
Yeah, what they call it, a depression, riots and shit, looting. It's all coming to America, man. In one day, man.
And everyone asks the same question. How do we not see this coming? The pattern was always there. Now let me prove this pattern is real. With 3 historical examples, 3 global superpowers, 3 reserve currencies, same exact cycle, same exact outcome. 1500s. Spain, the most powerful empire on earth. No debate, no competition. Spanish
Which we ruled Spain, prior to this time, in the Dark Ages.
galleons returning from the Americas loaded with more gold and silver than had ever been seen in human history. The Spanish real was the global reserve currency. If you wanted to trade
That's mere money, gold, silver, tangible assets.
internationally, you needed
Not no paper money.
Madrid was the financial center of the known world. Stage 1, King Philip II controlled half of Europe. Spanish armies were considered unstoppable. The Armada ruled the seas. Wealth poured in from every colony across 3 continents. And what did they do with it? They spent it on everything. Wars with France, wars with England, wars with the Ottoman Empire, wars with the Dutch. A massive military
And
presence
that's what Trump is doing now.
spanning 3 continents, a bureaucracy that consumed fortunes, royal palaces that cost kingdoms, and the Spanish Inquisition, burning money along with heretics. By 1550, Spanish government spending was running at 300% of revenue, 3 times what they collected in taxes. The difference? Borrowed. From Italian banks, from German merchants, from anyone who would lend. But gold kept flowing from the New World, so nobody worried. Asset prices in Spain kept rising. Everyone felt rich. The empire seemed invincible. Stage 2, verified. Then, something changed, quietly. 1555. Major Spanish banking families started moving assets to Genoa. The Fugger family, Spain's biggest creditors, began demanding repayment in gold instead of promises. They wanted out. Now, 1556. Wealthy merchants transferred operations to Amsterdam, not all at once, gradually, opening offices, moving inventory, redirecting trade routes. Why? Because they could read financial statements. And the statements said Spain was functionally bankrupt. The Spanish government was paying 40% interest on some loans. 40%? That's not a sign of strength. That's desperation bleeding through official documents. Stage 3, documented. 1557. Spain defaulted on its debts. The first time. Credit markets froze. Spanish bonds became worthless overnight. The government seized private gold shipments to pay soldiers. Chaos spread through the financial system. But the king promised it was temporary. A one-time problem. Everything would be fine. 1560. Spain defaulted again. 1575. Again. 1596. Again. 1597. Again. 4 defaults in 40 years. The currency collapsed. Inflation destroyed the middle class. Spanish power evaporated like morning fog. By 1600, Spain was a shadow of its former self. The golden age was over forever. It never came back. Stage 4, complete. Where did the money go? North, to the Dutch Republic. Amsterdam became the new center of global finance. Which brings us to example 2, 1600s. Amsterdam, the richest city in the world by far, by every measure.
See, hey, man. You know, this is a good, informative video. I saved it to my history. I'm going to finish watching the rest. It's pretty long, pretty lengthy, 25 minutes. But it shows you all these different Edomite empires, you know, collapsing, man. Okay. Which is going to happen to America, man. Real soon, man. You know, it's nothing new under the sun. All right. You know, they can do all types of quantitative easing, all types of human traffic. But however they're getting their money, man, it's not enough, man, to pay off that 38 trillion debt. It will take fucking hundreds of years, if not thousands. All right. So this person said self-sufficiency. Nah, it's God's sufficiency, man. You know, I hope that the Lord is dealing with you to get you out of times of trouble. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, if you're an Israelite, man. You know, because Warren Buffett moved from a cash position to the Japanese yen about a month ago, too. So, you know, they all know, man. Yeah, this is a good post by this lady, Katrina. This lovely lady. They all know America is crashing. What you mean America's crashing? It's been crashing, man. They talking about the dollar, man. The dollar. All right. It's folding, man. Right before our eyes, man. I went in a store the other day, man, to get like some smoke detectors or some shit. And then the lady, she was like, man, why is it so expensive? I said, hey, look who's in office. Look who, you know, really it's the least, but you know, you gotta look at the scapegoat, which is Trump. Okay. So this has been going on since I was a little kid, man, in the 80s. You know, the system was designed to fail, man, designed to collapse and bring in a new global currency, man, because something's going to happen. I believe an event's going to happen. It's not just going to take place here in America. It's going to take place pretty much all the major cities of the world to bring in this global digital currency, man. This beast system. All right. So, you know, the dollar's finished, man. That's all you could take from this video. So, let me get some precepts, man. This is James 5:3. Your gold and silver is cankered going into the money system, but even your actual gold and silver, your literal gold and silver, ain't gonna be worth shit too, you know, when the Lord returns. Because you ain't gonna be able to buy your way, you know, into the kingdom. You ain't gonna be able to buy your way into salvation and so forth. It's cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. Because how valuable is your money when there ain't no food in the stores or ain't no gas in the pump? All right. Or your car's tires are done got bald from people eating, so forth, man. And the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Yeah, because you know, this money system is old, man. This paper dollar system, man, it's been around, you know, for over 100 years, man. and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Because really, the money is really supposed to be a certificate, supposed to be backed by gold. But since the 70s, I want to say Jimmy Carter, one of them devils, did away with that, man. Now it's just that fucking debt note. And how can you pay a debt with a debt note? And shall eat your flesh as it were fire, ye have been treasured together for the last days. All right. So all your treasures, all your, like I said, riches, vainglory, all that's coming to nothing. This money system isn't real. It's an illusion. Got dead men's faces on the money. Like Jigga said, man, in the 90s, man, presidents, 90s or 2000s, I can't remember, man, but he said he got presidents to represent him. I think it was him or Nas said that shit, man. Can't remember, it's been so long. But they dead men, just like the money. Money's dead, man. It's not living. It's not, gold, silver, copper. Those are living things. You can conduct electricity off it. Money. You try and conduct electricity off of a paper dollar, man. Your whole crib might catch a blaze. All right. Was this filthy house called America's gonna catch a blaze too when the Lord returns, man? All right. Missiles shot by Russia, China, Iran, and its allies. It says a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but a just weight, this is the light. Yeah, the Lord dwells and pleased. Not dwells, but he's pleased with the gold and silver, man, alright? And really, we're a royal people. We supposed to be decked out in gold, man. Right, and silver and so forth, man. But our people, man, they just, the lights are on, but nobody's home, man. For the majority of these niggas, it's the best way to describe it, man. All right, and that light they have is a dim light at that. It's not a fucking real light, man. Oh, this is a good precept. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. So it shows you righteousness is the real riches. The riches you see, on MTV Cribs, your favorite celebrities, on Instagram, TikTok, those are false riches. Dubai, those are riches. Ill gain, man. Because I believe, everybody talk about, Keisha, Esmeralda, going to Dubai, getting shitted on and pissed on, getting paid that way. But, really, since they going out there, it goes to show you that it's a lot of human trafficking that goes on in Dubai. Really, all these major cities of the world, but I'm just keying in on Dubai, because that's supposed to be the most lavish city on earth. But righteousness delivered from death. Yeah, I know this Jay. I call him a passport OG. I don't call him a passport bro, because that's like a derogatory term. Nowadays, a lot of niggas that call themselves passport bros. But he went to Dubai, man. And I know why he went. He wanted to feel that that royal / lavish lifestyle they got out there. Benjamin Jake, but if you would have asked me if I was still been traveling with him, I'd be like, hell no, I ain't fucking with Dubai, man. Unless he got a free trip there. I never asked him about that, man. All right. Hey, scripture says riches come from the Lord. Poverty, riches, life, and death come from the Lord, man. All right. Zephaniah 1:11, how ye inhabitants of Magtesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it goes into the merchant city, man. The ancient world, man. Which, your modern day, stock market, Wall Street. Imagine the day when Wall Street collapses. Guess what? It's going to be the Fucking peons and shit. The lower class investors bucking out because they done lost $1 million and shit. And we jumping off of bridges and rooftops and rooftop lounges and shit. All over the world, not just in New York and America, all over the world. Because it's going to have a trickle down effect. Because, these countries, they trade oil and gas and shit in US dollars. So when the dollar collapses, it's going to have a trickle down effect on all the whole world, man. All right. Imagine America being like a ball with arms, and this arm is holding on to every country's economy, right? So as soon as those arms get snipped, down goes these different economies across the world. All right, every economy for real. It's a connected system, man. All they that bear silver are cut off, right? So hey, you're silver, man. They just gonna throw it in the streets, man. You fucking, that's how bad it's gonna get, man. Just take it, man. All right. 9, 1 and 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Yahushai, so showing you that this is the day of the Lord's vengeance, right? That there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, right? Yeah, ain't gonna be no more merchants in, I done caught like 10 fish. I'm about to sell them for like 20 each. All that's, it's gonna be out the window. And the great crashing from the hills. All right, what's that going into? The stock market, man. It's gonna be a great crashing. And I don't want about to say this 2026. Could be it, man. Right? A great crashing, great collapsing. All right. How ye inhabitants of Magtesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off, man. So this whole economics ladder is gonna collapse, right? And you look at this, you gotta exit Brexit. Like I said, he's all AI, but even the AI demon, is right sometimes, and this American, economic fucking constraint system, man. Because they got our people in a chokehold, man. This is getting ready to falter, sooner than we think, man. So I'm gonna end it there till next time. Shalom.